in our game right now. Connecticut and Tennessee is on its way. It's getting close. But when you think about they compete for players all year round, they compete for #1 in the SEC, #1 in the country. They fight each other 365 days a year. How in the world can it not be a rivalry?
Well, especially when Tennessee comes in 17 straight home wins that Andy Landers is going to try to snap. Andy Landers in his 22nd year at Georgia, the 48-year-old, 4-time National Coach of the Year, 17 20-win seasons. He's averaged almost 25 wins a year in his 21 seasons prior to this season at Georgia. And the head coach of Tennessee coming in at 16-1, 4-0 overall. Pat Summitt, 27th season. She is closing in on 900 games. January 28th versus Old Dominion will be her 900th game coaching. How about 6 NCAA titles, 19 SEC tournament titles?
What I like best, 83% winning edge. She's done it against all comers. They play the toughest schedule year in and year out of anybody in the country. They have the #2 RPI rating in the country today.
You can see what they did last year. It was Georgia winning handily by 27 points. And hanging around the Tennessee players today, you don't get a sense that revenge so much is on the mind as let's just continue our goal for a national championship.
Yes, I don't think they want to play right now and show that they can win without catching.
Randall dumps it down inside, and a easy two from Michelle Snow, the junior out of Pensacola, Florida.
One of the big keys for Tennessee today, trenches and defense. Keep the guards between you and beat the post players down. Don't give Georgia any easy baskets.
Keisha Brown running the point out front, the senior out of Atlanta, has overcome some serious knee problems. Missed just about 2 years, already graduated in graduate school now. 8 on the shot clock. Miller runs left, shoots right. What a shot by Kelly Miller.
She's a special basketball player. She can do it all. When you can dribble left and shoot right, so to speak, as you just described, that's just separates you from all other players.
Number 4 all-time scorer in Georgia history. She and sister Coco Miller, twin sister, just flipping back and forth.
On this out-of-bounds play, watch for one of the Miller twins to pop out and for the 3 ball. I think Kelly will come back inbound.
Clement with the steal. And she will go from the left side for her first 2 of the game. Ace Clement, the senior out of Broomall, Pennsylvania. And then Georgia just throws it away.
Give Tennessee credit for coming in and stepping up the full court pressure after a made basket.
Snow from the outside hits the deuce.
It's imperative that Georgia withstand this great emotional charge by these fans and this player. They're playing on a lot of heart and character right now with Catchings out. Georgia must withstand that pressure right now.
And it's an offensive foul down at the other end. Underneath, battling. And a whistle is called, and Andy Landers already working the officials.
But it's been consistent all year. You better get ready. If you're moving on the baseline, they're going to call it. If you stick an elbow out, as we see, Pat Summitt's got to be tickled to death the way this game started.
Now Coco Miller picks up the foul. Tennessee 6-2 the score. Kara Lawson, the sophomore out of Alexandria, Virginia, running the show out front. Now we thought that Georgia would want an up-tempo game, and Tennessee would want to slow it down. As Randall can't get it. Snow the rebound.
Tennessee would want to slow it down, but the adrenaline is flowing so fast right now, Tennessee can't slow it down. They've got to get up and down.
Now the officials, I think, checking a time problem. You look at Andy Landers, native of Tennessee, went to Friendsville High. Pat Summitt.
Both of these are two Tennessee people. That's why they want this game so bad. They live here pretty close to each other.
Lawson from the outside can't get it to go. Whistle, and a foul is going to be called on Randall. She was trying to take it away from Tawana McDonald. That's the first on Randall, first team foul here in the early going.
I see a major difference in the Tennessee game, the Tennessee team, than I did the other 3 games that we've had with them. One, they are going there to the ball. Number 2, they are shooting the ball with a tremendous amount of confidence. They're not sitting around waiting on Catchings to make a play happen.
Which is what we were wondering before the game, if they're going to sit around. Miller inside, gets behind the defense and blows the layup. Snow comes out of the pack for the ball. Clement, pump fake, southpaw, misses. Snow, the rebound, the putback. Tennessee, a very good offensive rebounding team, about 18 a game. Miller to Miller, back to Miller.
But there's no give up in Georgia. They'll calm down here and start playing.
Tawana McDonald averages about 13 a game, gets her first 2 of the ball game.
She's going to be a problem defensively for Tennessee inside.
Only loss for Tennessee this year. They lost by 5 to number 1 UConn back on December 30th as they toss it away.
The Tennessee pressure right now has been very good defensively. Georgia right now is making Tennessee shoot the ball from outside, which is what I think they have to do. Right now, Tennessee's going to pressure, but Georgia's got to calm down, be very, very calm, handling the basketball, and don't turn it over.
Georgia on a 13-game win streak, and they have demolished opponents in that period, averaging about 29-point victories. Another turnover. Brown puts a body on Clemens. Gets the rebound, loses it. Georgia has a chance. They have the numbers if they hustle. Kelly Miller, a little hesitation, uses the right arm. That's going to be an offensive foul, and I think that was a good call.
Yes, because Lawson did a good job of getting between the basket, between Kelly and the basket. As we watch on the replay, Brown passes the ball up to Miller. Miller has it right now. She should have shot the ball from outside, and she tries to turn the corner and push out her elbow. Lawson, good defensive stance. When you want to draw a charge, Ron, it's important that you get in the defensive stance. Officials won't call it when you're not in the stance.
Defense with the feet, right, Coach?
Oh, no question.
Here's Lawson out front. Miller on her, looking to go in the right block to Snow. Sees the double. Does a smart thing and dribbles out of the double. Pulls up 15. Snow has 6 in the ball game.
Looks like Snow said, Coach Summit, if you're trying to find a little scoring with Kitchens out, I might be your woman.
I think you're right. SEC all second team 2 straight years. Brown, dangerous pass. McDonald bangs inside, and we have a whistle and a foul. That'll probably be on Snow, and it is.
Georgia right now, every time they screen on the ball outside to relieve the pressure, Tennessee's doubling the basketball. As we see Coach Landers discussing this with Brown, he's telling her pass the ball a little quicker because Tennessee's doubling you. Yield the ball up out of the trap a little bit quicker, get it over to Miller, she get it inside to McDonald and score.
Well, you made a good point because at shoot around today, that's what they worked on. It's to teach Brown to give the ball up quickly, the short, quick passes. He said, I don't want any 20, 25-foot passes today.
And if Brown struggles a little bit at the point, but I think the reason they've got Brown at the point is because Lawson is guarding her. But if Brown struggles a little bit against this double team, look for Kelly Miller to go to the point.
Luana McDonald, this is one area her game has improved dramatically. 54% her freshman year, and she's already up to 73% this year.
What a game we have on our hands. Ron, we played 4 minutes, 8-6. We've had everything you could have.
2-point lead for the Lady Vols. Nice defense. McDonald knocking it out with 19 on the shot clock. Great expectations for both these teams this year.
Yes, they're living up to those expectations.
Absolutely.
They're 2 and 4.
Nice little pump fake by Glenn Jackson, the sophomore out of Eufaula, Alabama.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's 2 and 4 in the country. It doesn't get any better than that when you're ranked 2 and 4.
They only played once last year. Keisha Brown, little spin move. McDonald with a tip. The putback, Miller can't get it to go, and that'll be knocked out by McDonald. Well, they're saying Tennessee's got it. Well, it'll be Georgia's ball when we come back. 15:49 left in the first half. The Miller twins trail by 4.
Where are your seats for the 2001 SEC Men's Basketball Tournament? How about courtside? Sound good? Then hit SECSports.com and enter to win the grand prize all-expense-paid trip to the tournament and courtside seats with the SEC radio crew, all from the SEC corporate partners. The Basketball Fantasy Play-by-Play weekend could put you in the middle of the action. So enter by going to SECSports.com. The best seat in the house could be yours. Goes up the glass and in.
Lean on me. Rambler Jeans leaned on keratin to take the hassles out of employee health insurance with fast, accurate claims processing. Lean on me. Call Keratin or ask your broker to find out how you can simplify your company's employee health insurance.
The reason to play Michelle Snow.
No question about it. Snow just come to play tonight. She's been a major difference. She has 2 offensive rebounds, and her 3 rebounds. She has 6 points in 4 minutes to play. When you talk about who's going to step up for catching, Michelle Snow's done the job.
And if that name is familiar to those of you outside of the SEC area, she dunked, of course, back on November 25th versus Illinois. That's a traveling call, and Georgia uncharacteristically turning the ball over.
No question about it. Their turnover ratio to assist has been very, very good. Right now, I think they've come into this big crowd. They're playing. They're on national television. Sometimes you get a little excited. They've got to slow down just a hair.
Jackson in traffic. Clement can't get it. Keisha Brown, nice job on the rebound, taking it away from Samika Randall. Brown went down. Great pressure defense by the Lady Vols.
Best defense I've seen Tennessee play this year as far as pressuring the basketball. They're playing with a mission today, but Georgia's going to answer the call.
McDonald has her shot rejected. But there's a foul on the play.
You've got to love Georgia's patience right now. You're on the road. You're down 10 to 6. Things have not gone as well. We'll watch the replay. I like Miller stepping out, stepping around, passing the ball, passing the ball inside to McDonald. McDonald draws the foul. I've always said it. Post players, you've got to carry the ball to the basket where you can draw fouls on the other team's best post players and remove them from the game.
See what McDonald did against LSU their last game. This is the 3rd straight game versus top 10 teams for Georgia as substitutions come in. April McDivitt, number 10, the sophomore out of Connersville, Indiana, comes on for Tennessee. And our first look at Christy Thomas, number 4 for Georgia, the freshman out of Beaufort, Georgia, and they are extremely high on this young lady.
She could be the freshman of the year. Right now averaging 13 points. She was starting, but Andy Landers thinks she's better, and the team's better off with her coming off the bench. She's accepted that role and has played remarkably well.
Well, a bout of mononucleosis in December really put the crimp in her plans of starting. McDivitt, nice ball movement. Randall drills it from the outside. The senior out of Cleveland, Ohio.
That's the shot Randall has to make for them to overcome the loss of catching. She's got to be able to step up at about 15 feet and drill the basketball and not constantly be trying to get closer to the basket.
Well, she's the SEC Player of the Week, but she has been very inconsistent, to say the least, this year. Snow over the back, and that will be number 2 on Michelle Snow.
Yes, and you cannot take that foul. I don't care if you thought the refs missed the call. Don't put them in that position. You're a player right now. You have 6 points on the offense. Don't take your second foul. Coach Summit has to remove you from the game. Play smarter than that.
Well, Ashley Robinson, number 43, the freshman out of Grand Prairie, Texas, who stands 6'5", has to come in.
Yes, and you're going to take out Snow and put in Ashley Robinson. Ain't bad. Don't feel sorry too much for Tennessee's lost catching.
6'5" for 6'5". Miller, the fall-away, difficult shot. Here comes Randall, leading the charge. Robinson on the left, lost the handle. Nice job defensively by Tawana McDonald to get back.
Georgia really hustled, made the play, put themselves in a position to make a play.
Georgia trying to space it out a little bit more. We have a whistle on the inside, and I think it's going to be a foul on the freshman, Christy Thomas, and it is. So we know right now that they're calling it tight in the post.
No question about it. This is one of the new emphasis this year. Away from the basketball, down low in the post. You just can't beat roughhouses. You got to watch it.
Georgia's 7 turnovers already in the ball game. The 3 by Larson, no good. Miller and Miller, 2-on-2 if they hustle.
Do the Millers ever run down? Did they run all day?
I'm telling you, they have more energy. Once again, going left, shooting right, though. Tough shot. The pump fake, the shot, knocks it home. Gwen Jackson. She has 4 in the ball game.
Tennessee's playing with such offensive consistency. It's remarkable.
Ooh, they are calling it tight on the inside, and that foul's going to be on 21 Randall. That'll be her second. So Snow now with 2 and Randall with 2.
Okay, you start out a game calling it close. We'll call it that way for 40 minutes. That's my only argument. Don't start out the game and say we got 2 heavyweights, and then in the last 10 minutes call nothing. Officiate the whole game. You're going to influence the game early, influence it late.
I think that's the only complaint, or I should say criticism, that coaches make. Just be consistent. Tasha Butts comes in, a freshman out of Milledgeville, Georgia, number 3 for Tennessee.
Here's a player that Pat thinks can make a real difference for them.
Jump ball, the possession arrow belongs to the Lady Dogs of Georgia.
Butch must step up. In the last game, Pat didn't play her because he didn't think she was practicing hard enough. Now Butch has to step up with a loss of catches. She's a player off the bench that can make a difference.
Coco Miller doing a nice job drawing the whistle and the foul on the inbounds play.
Yeah, Butch went to sleep then. What Georgia's doing is sending McDonald out into the corner. Then they're taking a guard and back screening and going for the little lob play. And Butch went out on the back screen and then fell for it. Did switch.
Foul was on Robinson. Thomas inside. That is a good-looking jumper from the 6'5 freshman.
Did you see her jump up, catch the basketball, run, stop, and shoot it? What a play.
Thomas averaging over 13 a game. Has pulled the Lady Dogs within 5. Larson, the running right-hander. Thomas the rebound and keeps it up above her head.
Looks strong doing it, too. Yeah. Very, very strong.
Miller twins yet to get on track. McDivitt, nice job defensively. McDonald inside, making a nice move.
Great ball movement between Thomas and McDonald. Pass, catch, receive it, go to the basket.
Well, the emotion is starting to subside a little bit as we see the field goal percentages. But it comes down to execution in a game like this. Larson's shot. She has been off the mark tonight. Brown the rebound.
Georgia's defensive board is outstanding. Every time Tennessee shoots it, they are doing a very good job of securing the ball.
Miller picked up the loose rock. Kelly Miller the putback.
I think Kelly Miller's, she's not playing point guard, but I think she's the best point guard in the country today. She can just handle it. Right now, she can play all 3 positions.
We've got a whistle, and that's going to be a foul against Tennessee on the inside.
Same type of officiating run on one end, on the other end. You see an offensive foul away from the ball being called against Georgia. Now it's being called against Tennessee. Neither coach should have a gripe here because they're calling it both ways.
Deanna Bragans comes back in. McDonald out.
Coach Landers right now, I think, is doing a wonderful job of substituting with a limited bench. What he's doing with his big players, take out Brigans, take out McDonald, put in Thomas, let them play a little bit. Use the TV timeout because I don't think you're going to see the Millers come out tonight.
I don't think you will either.
Coach Summit said they could walk from Athens and then play 40 minutes.
I don't think she's going to get an argument. Well, you're looking at a very good free throw shooting team at Georgia. 72% on the year. SEC play, that goes above 80%. And they go to the line about 26 times a game, so they not only go to the line, they make them. And they get another opportunity here after the miss by Thomas.
Kelly Miller brings the total package to the game. Offensive rebound, defensive play, ball handling, shooting.
Coco Miller rattles it around at home. Her first 2 of the ball game. And Georgia has the lead at 16-14. So Georgia got down by 7 early on, but they have come running back. Plenty of time left in the first half.
Hey, I'm looking for a digital camera that stores images on a memory stick. Hey, do you know where I can find one of those digital... Excuse me, what did you say? Never mind. Which digital camcorder lets me shoot on standard 8mm tape?
Is this your car?
What's the easiest way to email my photos?
No email, a hot dog.
No digital camera.
What do I look like, a camera salesman?
Got questions about digital imaging? Ask somebody who knows. Sony. Call and get your free Sony digital imaging guide. It'll tell you all you need to know about digital imaging. You'll even get a personalized recommendation on which products are best for you.
Which digital camcorder shoots at night?
Find out how Sony's digital cameras and camcorders let you capture, edit, and share your life like never before.
Megapixels. Yeah, megapixels.
So call now for your customized guide and get a password to Sony's members-only website.
Thought I told you to move along.
Call 1-877-753-SONY for your free guide.
Hoop fans, be sure to catch the 2001 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball South Regional, hosted by Georgia Tech. You can catch all the action March the 23rd and 25th at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. For tickets, call 404-222-NCAA. That's 404-222-NCAA, or log on to www.final4.net.
The last 3 minutes we've seen the real Georgia, what has brought them to where they are right now with their record.
Tremendous poise. We'll watch this Reggie Miller type of play that Landers has drawn up for Coco Miller. Runner off of a sister screen and on a double screen, and on the baseline, she needed a basket because she's been struggling. Coco's the kind of player that needs some shots, needs some scoring opportunities. Landers created one for her. This will get her going defensively now.
Looking for Larson, cutting in the backside. Jackson on the inside. Miller tapped it around. Miller comes up with it. Kelly Miller. Nice pass inside. Brown, the turnaround.
That's a great story. Brown's been a player that's been hurt, never lived up to her potential. With the loss of Nolan, she has the opportunity to step up. When you get an injury, somebody has to step up.
Well, she played 37 minutes versus LSU, had a season-high 9 points. Solid assist-to-turnover ratio, almost 2.5 to 1. Working inside, just dipping the shoulder is Ashley Robinson, but we have a whistle and a foul.
Robertson is a special freshman also. We have just some tremendous players here. Players that are going to be drafted in the first round of the WNBA when they do leave. We see Robertson do a little ball fake, go up, make the basket, get the free throw. When I said that I thought Thomas had a shot to be freshman of the year, Robertson has a shot to be freshman of the year. They're just players everywhere here tonight. And two pretty good coaches to go with the players.
You look at the credentials of these two as Coco Miller pulls the trigger. She has hit her last 2 shots.
Don't blink. Go get anything out of the refrigerator because you're missing a heck of a game if you do.
The double on the inside, and Thomas putting a body on her. Yeah, I think that will be on the pressure. That'll be number 2 on her.
Yes, and I also think that Pat Summitt might be one of her game plans would be, one of the facets of it would be, hey, Tennessee, we're a little deeper than Georgia is in the post. We'll try to carry it inside, try to foul somebody out. Right now, you got Thomas in a little foul trouble.
At the line, Ashley Robinson out of Grand Prairie, Texas. Highly recruited player, 2-time parade All-American, a high school All-American. This is the second. And again, Georgia getting down quickly. Brown gets her 4th point of the ball game.
That's a no-no. When you shoot an offensive free throw, you cannot give up a layup on the other end.
And that's solid defense by Briggins. Georgia comes up with a turnover. Brown gives it up now to Miller. Miller will be running the show out front.
Now Tennessee goes to his zone. Look for Coco Miller.
And she hits the 3.
You can't switch defenses on Georgia because Kelly Miller's seen every defense in the SEC and in the country in 2 years. What a recognition.
Boy, that was just, there's something between those two, obviously, as Georgia's now opened up an 8-point lead. Miller almost with the steal. We've got a whistle and a foul, not a jump ball.
Coach Landers refereed a little bit. He wanted the jump ball, but there was going to be no jump ball.
No.
Coach Landers, Miller reached in, pulled her hand down. What a game we have here today, Ron. What a game.
Kelly Miller has picked up her second. Pat Summitt's got to figure out how to stop the Lady Dogs because they've opened up an 8-point advantage.
Now that you've bought your kid just about every I gotta have this or I'm gonna die thing under the sun, you may not think this is the right time to buy a computer. Think again. Now you can get a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor, speakers, and monitor for just $849. You'll also get 1 year of DellNet by MSN Internet Access, and you don't have to make any payments for 90 days. 90 days of blissful freedom. Of course, your system will be backed by Dell's award-winning service and support. To order a Dell Dimension system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor and not make any payments for 90 days, call Dell or go online. Just think, this may be the last I gotta have this or I'm gonna die thing you'll have to buy.
Mom, I have nothing to wear.
Or maybe not.
Kasikale Emaritbek Classic. Ipikile meaning kulu matube kati tetwa ngai ko khangele mingi tela ba ku amma.
the caliber of these two teams play, the WNBA shows up, man.
I thought I could sneak into town, but there's Fred Williams from Utah, Brian Egler from Minnesota, Linda Hartgrove from Portland, and the young buck Tom Cross, the assistant with a Detroit shot. I thought I could be the only one here. I was getting an advantage, but no.
Well, see, they read these numbers, too, for Georgia and see where they are as far as points per game, field goal percentage, down to three-point defense.
Unbelievable.
That is outstanding. Well, Tennessee needs to get Michelle Snow back in this game. She started out with 6 points. She went out at the 14:39 mark, and since she went out, Georgia has been on a 17-7 run.
Every loose ball rebound right now on the other end. Georgia's done a great job of those guards or wing people coming out with the ball. Millers and Brown are getting all the long rebounds, all the tough rebounds.
McDivitt trying to keep up with Coco Miller. She dips it off to her sister. And here comes Tennessee, trailing by 8, just about 9.5 to play in the first half.
Yes, and when you're Tennessee right now, keep your poise, hang on, don't get impatient, start making plays inside.
Air ball. Miller tried to keep it alive, but it'll belong to Tennessee.
Yes, and right now I think it's a great move by Pat Summitt. You're down 8 points, you're playing a really fine Georgia team. Bring Randall back in. She's got 2 fouls, it doesn't make any difference. Don't save her for tomorrow, because if you drop too far behind, you can't win.
No. And there's the numbers on her. She has 2 fouls and 2 points. Of course, Tennessee, number 2 in the country.
I don't think it's Randall's stats we're talking about. I think it's Randall's leadership, the ability to hold your team together when things are going bad.
Well, you turn to your seniors in times like this, and that'd be Clement and also Samika Randall. Randall, Brown doesn't buy the pump fake. Tough turnaround shot, and Randall has 4.
See, Randall comes into the game and just makes plays. You got to come in right now and make a play. Tennessee now is in a 1-1-3 zone, trying to give Georgia a different look, but look for the Miller twins now to heat up from the outside.
The 3. Brown off the mark, rebound controlled by Randall, coming out with a little bit of fire right now.
A lot of spark right now, wanting to make a play.
Miller, nice defense, knocking it down. 23 on the shot clock.
I will still say this, for Tennessee to go and compete for a national championship, H. Clement has got to step up and start looking for shots. If you don't step up and look for shots, you can't make shots.
With this offense out there for Tennessee, Randall has to be looking to score some along with Clement. He loses the handle. And again, Georgia looks to push.
I've never seen a team run the ball better than Georgia is running the ball right now.
And Coco Miller has 9 points in the ball game, and she has hit probably 3 of her last 4 shots.
Yes, and the difference in the turnaround right now, Georgia is playing quick, but not in a hurry. And now they're not turning the ball over as much.
Whistle, that's a traveling call. We're going to go the other way with it, and another turnover for Tennessee. That is 9 in the ball game.
Yes, and I also see this today, right now. We got a great game between 2 great coaches, great teams. But what I like best is the referees have stepped up. They're calling it like it's a tremendous game.
Just a reminder, Sunday at 3 on your regional sports networks, Florida and South Carolina. We'll be coming to you from Columbia, South Carolina. Van Chancellor and I will be there. That should be a pretty good ball game also.
Another great game. We just the lucky guys in the world.
We're getting paid for it, too.
I mean, right on the center line, watching the game.
8-point Georgia lead. Tennessee has gone cold since Michelle Snow's been out of the ball game. Whistle and a foul on the inside, and it'll go against Georgia.
See, I think also that McDonald has to learn. Right now, I don't care what players Georgia has, whether they got players hurt, not hurt, or whatnot. McDonald is too valuable to the basketball team. She's got to stand there, put her hands up, and not take that foul. I still believe in that. You cannot take that foul if you're Tawana McDonald. You're too valuable to this Georgia Lady Dog Bull basketball team.
Gwen Jackson is 74% free throw shooter, the sophomore out of Eufaula, Alabama. Michelle Snow can just sit and watch. 2 personal fouls in the game. 6 points.
Snow's got to learn to not remove herself with fouls. Pat's trying to let her sit there, but eventually he's going to have to put her back in the game.
Tennessee has closed the gap to 6. 7:46 to play in the half. Georgia with the lead.
Do you need cash but are worried about getting the right deal? If you need cash to pay off bills for home improvements or just to spend as you like and you want the loan set up on your terms, call this toll-free number now. You'll know in 10 minutes or less if you qualify for up to $75,000 or more. And if you do, you could have a check in as little as 2 weeks. An Advanta loan specialist will work with you to design a loan that fits your individual needs. Fixed or adjustable rate, terms to fit your budget and your financial goals, even if you've had credit problems in the past. Advanta has been helping homeowners get the cash they need for nearly 50 years. And Advanta was recently named one of America's most admired companies by Fortune magazine. So if you need cash fast, call Advanta or see us online. There's no quicker, easier way to get the money you need. Don't miss out. Call now. If you need cash, call Advanta now at 1-800-550-7124. In 10 minutes or less, you could be pre-approved for up to $75,000 or more. Call now, 1-800-550-7124.
Tennessee, it's also the home of the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. And in there is Pat Ed Summit, the head basketball coach at Tennessee. 27th year, and my colleague will be part of that.
Yes, I'm truly honored and excited as we see Tennessee now go to a 2-3 zone, trying to give Georgia a different look on the outside. But look out now. The Miller twins are going to light it up.
Kelly Miller from the outside. She has 6 points. That is classic inside out.
Yes, it's classic recognition of a change in defense, though. I like that. This Georgia team is a senior basketball team, and they know what to do.
McDivitt for 3, nothing but the bottom of the net for her 16th from beyond the arc this year. Brown quickly up court. The layup won't go. Rebound Tennessee.
Tennessee right now, transition defense is much better. They're going to have to cut out the easy looks, make Georgia earn their shot.
McDivitt again, an NBA-type 3. McDonald goes down hard, and we have a whistle and a foul. Maybe a Kyra Elsie. That'll be her first.
Now it becomes free throw time for McDonald. It's a 1+1. You've got to step up. You've got to make those free throws. And that's, if you do, you've made Tennessee pay a penalty for taking a foul right there.
1-1. Now Bragans comes out, and Thomas comes back in for the Lady Dogs. At the line, it will be McDonald. 3 of 4 from the stripe already tonight. She has 7 points, a couple of rebounds.
Right now, Tennessee needs to make a switch. Robertson is blocking out Miller. Randall is blocking out Thomas. They need to switch that around after this free throw. Maybe that's Jackson on the other side. But I think Robertson would be better off to block out Thomas.
Well, they still keep Jackson on her.
Well, I think Jackson's already going to be mad at me. Now I've confused her with Randall, and she's going to tell me, hey, Coach, I don't look like Jamaica Randall.
Down a little strong on the free throw. Rebound by Gwen Jackson. 6-point Georgia advantage. Tennessee with the basketball. Nice hustling defense. Jackson launches the 3. It draws the rainbow.
She has improved as much as anybody I've seen in the Southeastern Conference shooting the 3-ball. When you got a 6'1" post player that can shoot the 3-ball against the zone, you just change everything.
Now you brought the crowd back into the ball game as the lead is down to 3. Coco Miller being guarded by the taller Jackson. Brown inside, the finger roll won't go. Thomas, the rebound, the putback, but the foul on Jackson. And that'll be number 2 on her.
This is what I liked about what Georgia just did. The crowd's back into the game. Tennessee's coming back in. Georgia had tremendous patience on offense. And then when you do that, you move the basketball, you get a free throw. But let's say you don't get a free throw. Then you have kept Tennessee from running and getting the crowd into the game. Slow the crowd down by being patient on offense.
Thomas 2 of 3 from the line, and Michelle Snow will come back in, and Gwen Jackson with 2 personal fouls. She'll sit down.
See, this is why I think the depth of losing Nolan and Murphy has hurt Georgia. Landers has had to go to a 2-3 zone to rest Brown, the two Millers, and Tennessee just hit 2 threes on their last 2 possessions against this Georgia zone.
McDonald uses the left hand, and she knocks down the shot. McDonald now with 10 in the ball game. LZ out front. The lead is pushed back to half a dozen.
Georgia's in a 1-2-2 zone now, not going to give up the outside shot. Ron, Georgia will have to go back man because Tennessee's hurting this 2-3, 1-2-2 zone that Landers is having to play because of lack of depth.
Well, Andy's mainly a man-to-man kind of coach, but he has played some pretty good zone the last couple of weeks, and I think he felt confident coming into this game to play the zone. Elsie up front. Miller makes the steal. And Miller makes the save. That's the original M&M.
What a hustling type of play. You just got to love the way these two are playing tonight.
Look out. Coco Miller for 3 or Kelly Miller for 3. No. McDonald. The offensive rebound and a putback.
Yes, and here's what is happening to the Tennessee zone. Anytime you play a zone, what happens? You have no direct responsibility. You don't have a man, people shooting the zones, and one of the fallacies of playing zone, you give up too many offensive rebounds.
They pulled the lead down to 3, but Tennessee now finds themselves down by 6 again. McDivitt for 3. Rebound, offensive rebound. The Lady Vols. The put up by Randall is good.
Same thing happened to Georgia in the zone. Randall got in the seams of the zone. Nobody blocked her out. She went for the offensive board.
Kelly Miller out front. Coco Miller. Kelly, little dribble penetration, and she rattles it home.
What a game the Miller twins. But it's a game by everybody. The team, the coaches. They're executing right now, buddy. 17 of the 37 points for Georgia by the Miller twins. Snow from way outside, and she was hot early, had 6 quick ones. Now she's in with 8. This score might be 100-98. I think you're right. And a high score you would think would favor Georgia. McDonald shuffled the feet, but we have a whistle and a foul. I don't, just maybe. They might have been a walk before the foul. There's no doubt in my mind now that there was a foul, but in the way the game's being called, that's pretty consistent with what's going on. Right. Foul was on Robinson. As we see the replay of it, it's pretty close. What do you think, Ron? Did you want? We've got Tennessee in a week, and I've got Georgia in 2 weeks. I'm saying nothing. I want to talk to the coaches. McDonald living at the free throw line tonight, Coach. Here's my whole point. You got to forget those plays. Whether they missed the call or not, championship teams overlook those types of calls, one way or the other, whether it was a good call or a bad call. My point is, forget that. Go to the next play. You can't do anything about it. Too many players let all kind of things bother them. Can't worry about things you don't control. As Mary Beth Lysette, number 3, is checked into the lineup for Georgia. My thinking is, if it don't affect the championship of my 2 grandboys at home, I don't really let a lot of things bother me, buddy. There you go. Now McDonald has done Yeoman Zifford on the inside. Georgia makes their first perimeter sub of the half. He has 14 points, will sit down, and the lead is back to 6. Carol Larson calling out the play for Tennessee. Look for Larson to try to go to the weak side corner and get a 3-point shot against this 1-2-2 zone. Jared Pillow, number 50's checked in. Junior out of Addison, Ohio. Long-range jumper. Pillow had it, lost it. Whistle and a foul on Lysette. That'll be her first. Lysette was at a tremendous disadvantage. When you play the 1-2-2 zone, she had to block out. She came into the game. She did all she could. I don't think that's a bad foul. Anytime you play a 1-2-2 zone, the ball goes in the opposite corner. The opposite wing has to drop down and block out. And then against Pillow, she had no opportunity to take a foul, make them from the free throw line. Pillow playing in only her 10th game this year, misses the free throw. Snow right there for the putback. Yes, and when you get someone to miss a free throw, you got to step up and make the play and block out. Reagan shuffled the feet. The 14-footer goes, and we have a whistle on the inside. And I think the foul is going to be on Thomas. Let's see if the basket is good. If that's on Thomas, that's number 3. That is going to be vital into this basketball game. Not the point, but removing one of Georgia's big inside players with 3:26 to go in the first half with 3 fouls.
Well, they've got to take Thomas out. They're going to have to bring Tawana McDonald back in. The basket by Briggins was good.
This is a key part of the game now. Thomas is out. She's so vital to what Georgia is doing. Now McDonald must make sure she blocks out Snow on this free throw. Watch for Tennessee to come with some full court pressure after this free throw. If not, maybe a little half-court trap. They've got to change. You're down 5 points. You've got to get Georgia in foul trouble with different subs in the game. Give them a different look.
Karen Fellow, whose father was her high school coach, can't get the second one to go. Coco Miller from the outside. You cannot give them that much room.
You've got to get up on it. Lawson has to get up and challenge her, make her put it on the floor and get some weak side defensive help.
Georgia back into that zone defense.
Georgia has no choice. They're in foul trouble. They have to play a zone to try to hold on and get to the second half and get their starters back into the game.
The lead is 7. 11 to shoot for Tennessee. Randall, the pull-up over Miller, and Miller got him on the body. And they're calling it on Coco Miller. That'll be her second personal foul.
That's a tough call right there.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that when you play zone like that, but I'll still go back. Coco's got to give away, show the ref a little inside play as we see Randall take the ball to the basket. You cannot go for that block if you're Coco Miller. Your team is a little bit thin. You got to stay out of that situation. Keep Tennessee off the free throw line so they cannot press you right here before halftime. This is a crucial 3 minutes if you're Georgia. It's not quite as important for Tennessee, and I say that because they are at home.
Randall now with 10 in the ball game. John Snow with 10. And Tennessee has trimmed the Georgia lead down to 5. 2:57 left before intermission.
The Baptist Health System of Alabama is proud to be a corporate partner of the Southeastern Conference. Our staff of rehabilitation professionals is dedicated to the highest quality care. As the official health care provider of the SEC, every hit, slide, and slam dunk is our business. We offer complete sports medicine and rehabilitation programs designed specifically for athletes. Baptist Health System of Alabama and the SEC, together committed to excellence on and off the field.
Winter is heating up with SEC Women's Hoops action. Don't miss the excitement as Memphis, Tennessee hosts the 2001 SEC Women's Basketball Tournament at the Pyramid, March 1st through the 4th. The $30 Dr. Pepper 6-pack gets you 6 tickets to the matchups of your choice, or get the complete game book for only $60. And make your SEC experience complete by stopping into the Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare for the ultimate in interactive fun. Call today to order your tickets and be a part of the excitement of SEC Women's Basketball.
Warren Moon, born to play quarterback, yet born at the wrong time.
It was erroneously perceived that blacks could play that position.
Adversity only strengthened his will to succeed.
He's what you would expect in a hero.
Until his image was shattered in one moment of rage.
I made a tremendous mistake.
Warren Moon, Beyond the Glory, presented by AthletesDirect.com, Sunday at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Georgia leads by 5 here in Knoxville, Tennessee, where Tennessee, I should say, first place in the NCAA in attendance. They've reached 100,000 fans this year for the 7th straight year. They did it in just 7 home games. This is a great place to watch a basketball game.
Not only a great crowd tonight, but it's very enthusiastic.
Yep.
It's doing everything they can to bring Tennessee back as we start the second part of this right before halftime with Tennessee in a 1-2-2 zone.
Nice crisp passes by Georgia. A little inside and out in again. 10 to shoot. McDonald, Briggins had it. No, 3 seconds in the lane. Tawana McDonald says it's my fault. Gave the universal my bad problem.
Yes, if she'd have turned around and shot the basketball, it would not have been 3 seconds. One pass too many. You got to get in and out of the lane. Right now, Georgia's got to hold on defensively, but what Tennessee wants to do is to be able to penetrate and make a play right here before halftime.
I think she was so surprised to see Briggins that wide open. Snow looking for Pillow, posted up on the right side. Larson will launch for 3. Lawson can't get it to go, and here comes Georgia with the 5-point advantage, closing in on 2 to play in the half. Lysette three won't go. Pillow the rebound.
But Georgia changed back from the zone. Tennessee had hurt Georgia in the zone. Coach Landers goes back to a man, probably play pressure man and make them beat him.
Lawson will try the three again, and again she's short. Pillow the offensive rebound. The putback won't go. Briggins comes down with a loose ball. Still things calming down a little bit here in the final 2 minutes of the half.
I think Coach Landers needs to get Brown back in the game right here before halftime.
Georgia only 1-3. That was by Miller. McDonald the turnaround. Kelly Miller fights for it. Can't come up with a rebound. Tasha Butts does. The talented freshman out of Milledgeville. Pillow knocks people over. McDonald with a block. Pillow will try it again. Still can't get it. McDonald has the rebound. We have a whistle and a foul. Good effort by McDonald.
Yes, and I thought at that time, Pillow needs to be more patient, move the basketball. I didn't think that was quite her shot, but give McDonald credit. She's the biggest player right now for Georgia. She's going to have to be the one that's going to block shots, be a force for Georgia inside right now.
And we'll go down to the other end of the floor. Gianna Briggins will shoot the free throws. The senior out of Denver, Colorado. Spent a couple of years at Coffeyville Junior College. Been 5 games since she made a free throw. Hasn't shot that much. Well, Snow's going to go out. They don't want her picking up her 3rd personal foul in the closing minutes here of the half. And Courtney McDaniel, the freshman out of Bristol, Tennessee, will check in.
Good move by the Tennessee bench. Everybody is over there. The assistants are letting Pat know, get her out of the game at halftime so she won't get that 3rd personal foul.
Nice fast break, and Bucks ends up with it for the easy 2, and that's her first deuce of the game.
Yes, the same thing that Georgia did earlier. You miss a free throw, you can't give up a layup on the other end.
Georgia has to be careful not to give Tennessee an emotional run here to end the half. McDaniel had it, Pillow had it, and they drag each other around, hence the traveling call.
Yes, and watch on this out-of-bounds play now. After you get this, McDonald will fake out in the corner and try to go in for a little lob from Miller to make it inside. Watch for a back screen from Coco Miller.
Andy Landers wants to call a timeout, a 30-second timeout. He wants to talk about it because I think he understands the importance of the final 56.8 seconds.
I don't think there's any doubt. Every coach in the country knows this. So many people talk about the segments that games are lost in. I don't know which 5 minutes, but I think there's always a 3 to 5 minute period of time. It might be right before half to start the second half. You cannot let games get away from you. What Georgia right now is doing, they're substituting. They're in a little foul trouble, and they're trying to hold on for halftime.
Right. Now, just a reminder, coming up at the half, I'll be having a conversation with Andy Landers, one of the great coaches in all of women's college basketball. Plus, we'll update you on scores from around the SEC tonight, and we'll have our stats and highlights all coming up at the half. And you were part of Coach Landers' roast, I understand, back in November.
Oh, yes. Well,
that had to be priceless.
Yes, I had a wonderful time. I told the same things he told on me when he came to Houston.
24 on the shot clock. McDonald in the post. Nice job giving it right back in, but she can't finish it out. Tennessee with a chance to pull within 1 or even tie the score. 13-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Lawson turns Miller around. Tasha Butts goes left, 8 to shoot. They're working around. Lawson looking in the post. She'll pull up with the jumper. Pillow, another offensive rebound. McDonald with another ejection. Good opportunity for Georgia. 2-on-1. Coco Miller to the hole. Doesn't get it. Lysette kicks it over. Kelly Miller doesn't get it. They keep it alive. It'll be out of bounds, and it belongs to Georgia with .7. Now, wait a minute. We've got a player hurt down the far end. That is Tasha Butts. She is yet to cross the midcourt stripe. And we're not sure. It looks like she just may have gotten one in the eyes and the head, and that kind of makes your eyes water a little bit.
With 7/10 1/10 of a second. Tennessee must be very, very careful. It's going to be a lob play to McDonald inside because she doesn't catch it. She's just going to try to tip it in.
That's about all you can do. Miller will trigger it. And it's stolen, and that's the way the half will end. It was a seesaw first half as Tennessee opened up a big lead early on as Pat Summitt pleading her case to the officials as they walk off the court. And then Georgia, with Michelle Snow sitting on the bench, they went on a big run to take the lead. And at halftime, Coach, just what we thought it would be. Close.
What a basketball game. It's intense. It's intense by coaches and by everybody. It's everything I thought it'd be, Ron.
And coming up at half, we'll talk with Andy Landers, his team with a 3-point advantage.
This Deacon Minute is presented by Rose Furniture. Rose knows furniture.
There was a time early in the career of Deacon center Josh Shoemaker that Coach Dave Odom thought briefly that he had made a mistake in recruiting Shoemaker from Gate City, Virginia. Not anymore. Shoemaker has been a huge factor in Wake's season thus far, but downplays his role as all that different from last year.
I don't think it's a lot different from, last year. It's just I think it's more visible now that I'm playing a lot of minutes.
There's no arguing that Shoemaker held down the fort while scheduled starter Rafael Vitaretta was on the mend following knee surgery. And while Shoemaker takes the modest approach, he does acknowledge that the Deacons are glad to have him.
Definitely think that my team needs me right now, but when we get Ralph back, I think my minutes will go down a little bit, but I think I'm going to be a big part of this team, throughout the year.
This Deacon Minute has been presented by Rose Furniture. Rose knows furniture. Deacon Minute is a special presentation of ISP Sports.
Hoop fans, be sure to catch the 2001 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball South Regional, hosted by Georgia Tech. You can catch all the action March the 23rd and 25th at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. For tickets, call 404-222-NCAA. That's 404-222-NCAA, or log on to www.final4.
For a limited time only, Ted Russell Nissan has 0% financing. Yes, Ted Russell Nissan has been authorized to offer to the public 0% financing on the remaining 2000 inventory. Pathfinders, Maximas, Altimas, Sentras, vans, and pickups, starting as low as $10,990. Yes, as low as $10,990, all with absolute 0% financing. Ted Russell Nissan has the best selection, the best deals, and now offering 0% financing. Only at Ted Russell Nissan, 8565 Kingston Pike.
Try to sell a home in Tennessee without natural gas.
People buy gas homes because living is better in a gas-heated home. Plus, gas heats water twice as fast as same-size electric.
There's more.
Trouble-free gas logs in your fireplace, and now, quality homes are equipped for the gas clothes dryer. Faster, fluffier.
Invest in better living today, resale value tomorrow. Just remember.
Try to sell a home in Tennessee without natural gas.
No way.
Natural gas.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
At halftime, the Lady Bulldogs of Georgia, number 4 in the country, leading the number 2 Lady Vols of Tennessee, 43-40. Head coach of Georgia is Andy Landers. He has been to 5 Final Fours. He has 7 SEC titles. He is truly one of the great coaches in all of women's college basketball. And earlier today, I had a chance to sit down and talk to Andy about his team and about basketball in general.
There is probably no rivalry in women's college basketball, more storied, more history than Tennessee and Georgia. You always seem to be playing for something, and tonight is no different.
Well, there's absolutely no probably to it. It absolutely is the most storied rivalry in women's basketball. We played for conference championships, conference tournament championships, early rounds in the NCAA, opportunities to go to the Final Four, and for the national championship itself in 1996, and everything in between. We played for #1 rankings before. Perhaps tonight Tennessee is playing for that again. I don't know. But it is a big game. It has always been a big game, and I think both teams recognize that.
It's come a long way when you think that you go back to Cobb Civic Center. You and Pat, 176 combined wins. Now you look at it, 1277. You guys have been around a while.
Well, that means we've had a lot of good players. Both these programs have just had a lot of players who were able to win basketball games. Have we been around? Yeah, and I think the reason that we've been around a long time is the commitment that the two schools have made to the sport, but moreover, the quality of athletes that we've both had in our programs.
What keeps it fresh for Andy Landers?
Change. You know, I think change is great. The game keeps changing. Coaching gets better. It's more challenging today. There's more talent across the board, parity, if you will. So that is a challenge. At the same time, changing players. You know, someone from time to time has walked up to me, different people, and said, you know, wouldn't you like to have them back for another year? No, after 4 years, it's time to go. I'm ready for some change. I'm ready to refresh.
Are you going to say that about Coco and Kelly when they leave?
Absolutely. I think the 4 years that they've been at Georgia have been wonderful for Georgia. I think it's been wonderful for Kelly and Coco. But it's time for a change. It's time for them to have a change. It's time for us to move on and change also.
Is this the kind of game that the women come to Georgia for, to play the big game?
You know, I think that there are a number of these games in any given year that players come to Georgia to be involved in. Certainly this is one of them. Again, I go back. I don't think that there is another women's basketball rivalry in the country quite like this one. I think you have to think in terms of Duke and North Carolina men in terms of putting this in perspective.
One final question for Andy Landers. You look at all the wins you have, SEC titles you have, National Coach of the Year. What would be the one thing still lacking that you want to have in your pocket?
Oh, absolutely. I want the national championship trophy. You know, we have played so close to that through the years, and you know, that's the one thing that we haven't accomplished. That was an objective of mine when I went to Georgia 22 years ago.
And that might be on the horizon. He likes the way his team has played this year, and he expects great things for them the rest of the season. Halftime activities will continue from Knoxville, Tennessee, as we step aside with Georgia leading Tennessee by 3.
The University of Georgia is today one of the best public universities in the country because of a 216-year commitment to 3 timeless principles: wisdom, justice, and moderation. These 3 principles are so fundamental to our mission that we have symbolically cast them in pillars of iron erected at the entrance to the campus, where we announce our commitment to these ideals. The path to a great education begins at the University of Georgia.
Your kid just about every "I gotta have this" or "I'm gonna die" thing under the sun. You may not think this is the right time to buy a computer. Think again. Now you can get a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor, speakers, and monitor for just $849. You'll also get 1 year of DellNet by MSN Internet Access, and you don't have to make any payments for 90 days. 90 days of blissful freedom. Of course, your system will be backed by Dell's award-winning service and support. To order a Dell Dimension system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor and not make any payments for 90 days, call Dell or go online. Just think, this may be the last "I gotta have this" or "I'm gonna die" thing you'll have to buy.
Mom, I have nothing to wear.
Or maybe not.
If you love Taco Bell Crunchy Tacos, your time has come. This week, and this week only, get 2 Taco Bell Crunchy Tacos for 99 cents. 2 Taco Bell Crunchy Tacos for only 99 cents. But only until this Sunday, January 21st. Want zesty? Try the new Zesty Fiesta Burrito only at Taco Bell. Rice, seasoned beef, topped with a zesty Southwestern sauce, Fiesta salsa, and cheddar cheese. Now only 99 cents at the Bell.
Zesty. Zesty.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Still plenty of basketball left in Knoxville, Tennessee, and not big of a margin to make up if you're a Tennessee fan. Trail the Georgia Bulldogs, 43-40, along with Van Chancellor. I'm Ron Thulin. Take the stats, folks. toss them away. This has been a game of just pure hustle on the part of both Tennessee and Georgia.
There's no question. Throw everything else out. It's effort, effort, effort. They are going after every loose ball. They're contesting every shot. You watch it on the replay. Here's Tennessee trying to run the break. What a play by Coco Miller just to save the basketball. Come back on the other end, and you'll watch McDonald go up and make a play. That's just nothing but second effort playing hard.
Here Miller with a long pass. Miller with a pull-up. Miller with a basket.
It's just Miller, Miller everywhere. And then for Tennessee, you see Snow stepping up. She has 10 points. And she hadn't gotten herself in foul trouble. I thought she was going to be a big factor. She's been really big, but she can be bigger in the second half.
Well, when Snow sat down and Tamika Randall sat down for Tennessee, that's when Georgia took advantage of it. As we take a look at the first half numbers, 10 turnovers Tennessee in that first half. Most came early in that first 20 minutes.
I don't think there's any doubt. Both teams were turning the ball over a little bit early. Tennessee, Georgia both. But as the Hags settled down, their turnovers minimized. And what a great half of basketball.
And we still have another 20 minutes of basketball left to be played in Knoxville. Georgia leads by 3.
Do you need cash but are worried about getting the right deal? If you need cash to pay off bills for home improvements or just to spend as you like and you want the loan set up on your terms, call this toll-free number now. You'll know in 10 minutes or less if you qualify for up to $75,000 or more. And if you do, you could have a check in as little as 2 weeks. An Advanta loan specialist will work with you to design a loan that fits your individual needs. Fixed or adjustable rate, terms to fit your budget and your financial goals, even if you've had credit problems in the past. Advanta has been helping homeowners get the cash they need for nearly 50 years. And Advanta was recently named one of America's most admired companies by Fortune magazine. So if you need cash fast, call Advanta or see us online. There's no quicker, easier way to get the money you need. Don't miss out. Call now. If you need cash, call Advanta now at 1-800-550-7124. In 10 minutes or less, you can be pre-approved for up to $75,000 or more. Call now, 1-800-550-7124.
Over 4,000 new cars. Over 2,000 used cars. Over 500 trucks and SUVs. Only one place, the Airport Motor Mile. Over 1,000 cars starting at $5,000. All at one place, the Airport Motor Mile. Price, selection, convenience. Only one place. The Airport Motor Mile.
It's Melrose Madness at MS McClellan. Take advantage of 50, even 75% reductions on the finest fall and winter clothing and accessories.
An MS McClellan sale is always comprised of the same fine clothing and accessories you're accustomed to finding here every day of the year, except at substantial reductions. Come by, take a look. I guarantee you'll be glad you did.
Up to 75% savings now during Melrose Madness at MS McClellan. Melrose.
With Van Chancellor, I'm Ron Thulin, welcoming you back to Knoxville, Tennessee. Second half coming straight ahead in about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Our score, but let's update you on other scores from around the Southeastern Conference. Florida taking care of Auburn. They lead it by 12. That's in the second. Ole Miss early on over Alabama by 3. Mississippi State trailing Arkansas, playing at Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville. LSU, how about this? What a surprise here. How about Kentucky by 16 over LSU in the first?
Unbelievable. They went to Arkansas and struggled. That's why in the Southeastern Conference, you better be ready every night you go out.
Absolutely. And Vanderbilt now leading South Carolina by 6 in the first. Just a reminder, we will be in South Carolina on Sunday for South Carolina and Florida. Hey, don't read the paper. We don't have time for that. We've got basketball to be played, and we will have it in 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
We are developing a new rust-proof coating for metal. We hope to make every plane, train, and automobile rust-free. We are also developing a method of tracking the lifespan of car parts. This way, we can measure the environmental impact of each part. We are the University of Tennessee.
Hoop fans, be be sure to catch the 2001 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball South Regional, hosted by Georgia Tech. You can catch all the action March the 23rd and 25th at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. For tickets, call 404-222-NCAA. That's 404-222-NCAA, or log on to www.final4.net.
Thursdays get vertical with OLN's exclusive coverage of FIS World Cup skiing.
He's Brad, he's Bull, he's Bodie Miller of the USA.
U.S. skate runner Bodie Miller hit the big time in '99 with 4 top 10 finishes. Then last year, his up-and-coming career suddenly cooled down. Now, racing's new kid on the block has learned from the past and is picking up speed toward a brilliant future. FIS World Cup skiing on Vertical Thursdays, 8 p.m., only on the Outdoor Life Network.
Warren Moon, born to play quarterback, yet born at the wrong time.
It was erroneously perceived that blacks could play that position.
Adversity only strengthened his will to succeed.
He's what you would expect in a hero.
Until his image was shattered in one moment of rage.
I made a tremendous mistake.
Warren Moon, Beyond the Glory, presented by AthletesDirect.com, Sunday at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
विक्रम शो से हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं। 2 खिलाड़ियों का नाम अरुंधति और भारत है, मगर ये देखो क्या हो रहा है। दोनों खिलाड़ी अब तैयार हैं, वो एक दूसरे के पास।
This morning, Sundays at 10 Eastern, 9 Central on Fox Sports Net.
Georgia leads by 3 at halftime. Last year, between these two teams at Georgia, they led by 1 at halftime. But Andy Lander's team came out smoking in the second half. A 10-1 run in the first 4:07 of the second half. Miller on the drive gave Georgia a double-digit lead that they would not give up. But the big player, of course, in that ball game, Deanna Nolan, a career-high 25 points, 6 of 10 shooting, and Georgia hands Tennessee their second worst loss ever. It was a 27-point shellacking at Georgia. The final 78-51. Tennessee shooting about 30% in that ball game. Much better tonight as we saw the numbers.
I don't think that last year's game has had any effect upon this year's game. I think the injuries to the key players has affected the emotions and the play of this game, and it's been outstanding.
I think revenge is something the media likes to bring up a lot. Players really don't care. Samika Randall. He has a dozen.
I think Georgia's got the same problem to start the half they did to start the game. Ride the tide out emotionally as Tennessee comes out to the dressing room. Is catching just for 1,000-point basketballs, overcoming all of those emotions.
Keisha Brown, the right-hander, won't go. You and I have talked about on numerous occasions, Coach, about the first 5 minutes of the second half. Whistle and a foul, and Tennessee coming out with that same fire they did have in the first 5 minutes of the opening half.
A bad foul by a young basketball player. You're Thomas. You've been forced inside. You have 3 fouls. You open up. They run the break. Jackson gets the ball inside. Do not take that foul. You'd be better off for your team's sake giving up the basket run. Always remember, you got to think about the team first. Forget about anything else but your team winning, giving them the best shot. Sometimes you have to give up of yourself to make that happen.
Well, you're not going to help your team sitting on the bench, and that's what young Thomas has to do.
Yeah, when she's been a force, she's been defensively and rebounding. Now she's a NF, a no factor in this game.
Part of the learning process, I guess, of a freshman. The good news is she'll be a sophomore. Opal Miller almost got caught up in the air.
She didn't walk. The Tennessee fans think she did. She jumped up in the air, held on, passed the basketball before she came down.
How many times you teach a player, if you're going to jump up in the air, you better be shooting. Don't be looking for a pass. Brown trying to get Lawson off her elbow. Rebound controlled by Gwen Jackson. Jackson uncontested to the hole, misses the layup. Snow fights for it, lost it. Tennessee has it.
Right now, Tennessee to start the second half is really pushing the basketball. Georgia's got to get back in transition defense. They have got to get back. Don't let Jackson go the length of the court and put it in.
Randall's turnaround, and she has 4 to open the second half. And the Lady Vols have taken the lead by 2.
Georgia comes down now, slows the basketball down, and going to run a set play to try to quiet the Tennessee crowd.
UT scored the last 7 points. Georgia 14-0 this year when they've had the lead at intermission. Coco Miller from 15 goes about 15 and 2 inches.
Georgia can't go very much longer, so they'll have to take a 30-second timeout to settle the players down.
McDonald, another rebound. He has 6 in the ball game. Georgia down by 2. Crowd really getting into it. Miller working off a couple of picks. She shakes Lawson, can't finish. Snow with a rebound. She has 7.
But Georgia did a very smart thing. Came down, run a set play, got the ball to Coco Miller. She just missed a wide open free throw almost. She's going to make that shot. What Georgia has to do is just fight off this run, play tough defense so they can settle down offensively.
Tennessee starting to gain control on the offensive rebounds with Frye.
Yes, Tennessee has been historically one of the great offensive rebounding basketball teams in the country.
Great recognition by Miller, but Coco can't finish it up. Jackson inside, McDonald with her 3rd block. Randall kept it alive, and then Miller ties the ball up. Possession arrow belongs to Georgia.
I hate to use a male player, but McDonald has been the Bill Russell of women's basketball here tonight, blocking everything that Tennessee puts up inside. A lot of hustle by both basketball teams. We see Miller and Randall going after jump ball, Tennessee, Georgia's position.
I think Georgia got a break there because Miller's foot was out of bounds when she actually got her hand on the ball.
Well, she didn't mean to do that. Maybe she didn't say, may I run, but you got, you know.
Just seeing Coco Keller just too sweet to call anything against him. Keisha Brown to McDonald. Nice look inside.
And you fought off the Tennessee run. Now Tennessee's had the emotions are coming out. Execution time. Somebody's got to come down and make a play. Board! Board!
Here Andy Landers saying board, board, and we have a whistle and a foul.
No deeper than Landers is at the post position. Coach Landers has got to have some, they've got to watch their fouls. McDonald, Thomas, you cannot take fouls away from the basket that does not have anything to do with the play. Watch Lawson trying to come off of this double screen for a 3-point shot.
There she is. Miller doesn't buy the pump fake. Jackson has it knocked away. Last touch by Michelle Snow. It'll belong to Georgia. We are tied at 45, just about 3:20 gone by here in the second half.
Tennessee now is in a little half-court trap, a little 2-2-1. They're just trying to wear the Georgia team down. They're not quite as deep at the perimeter position, giving Georgia different looks, trying to change the pace of the game.
Georgia's a 3-guard offense, but with the injuries, they're really just a 3-guard offense.
Is McDonald ever playing? Not only is she rebounding, blocking shots, she's feeding off the weak side. What a pass inside.
Briggins with the basket. Snow goes inside. McDonald never moved her arm. They try to go up and under. She may not block it, but she could redirect it.
Alternate shot. That's what's so important about a shot block. Georgia's running a little weed now, trying to get the Millers open for a little jump shot.
Clemens staying right with Miller. Lawson bellying up on Coco Miller. Randall with the steal. She'll pull up over Brown and buries the jumper.
These are the things that Randall has not been doing with Catchings in the lineup. She's had to stay here with Holsclaw and Catchings being the third wheel. Now it's her time. She's stepping up. Holsclaw graduated. Catchings is hurt. Now Randall is making plays.
Randall 3 of 3 in the second half. She has 6, so we're tied at 47. Kelly Miller, don't leave her open like that.
Yeah, Coach Landers comes back and runs a little Reggie Miller type of play. Instead of hitting Coco, he hits Kelly in the middle for the little jump shot.
Snow sees the double from Briggins. Rebound, Jackson in the putback.
Anytime you double off of the other low post player, Briggins doubled over with McDonald, leaving nobody to rebound on the weak side. One of the wings has got to drop down.
Carol Lawson encouraging the crowd to make a little bit of noise. Miller wide open again, and you think you'd learned.
Tennessee's going to have to switch that. If they cross on the weak side under the basket, the reason they're getting open, they can't fight through a double screen and then another screen.
Jackson's 3, rebounded by Miller, lost it. Tennessee's basketball.
I thought Randall might have got away with a reach over foul to knock the ball out. Miller knocked it out, but I thought Randall fouled.
We're going to catch our breath. This is up and down the court. Georgia leads by 2.
Now that you bought your kid just about every I gotta have this or I'm gonna die thing under the sun, you may not think this is the right time to buy a computer. Think again. Now you can get a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor, speakers, and monitor for just $849. You'll also get 1 year of DellNet by MSN Internet Access, and you don't have to make any payments for 90 days. 90 days of blissful freedom. Of course, your system will be backed by Dell's award-winning service and support. To order a Dell Dimension system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor and not make any payments for 90 days, call Dell or go online. Just think, this may be the last I gotta have this or I'm gonna die thing you'll have to buy.
Mom, I have nothing to wear.
Or maybe not.
Don't just dream about beef. Do something.
One of the reasons Georgia, and the main reason Georgia has the 2-point advantage here in the second half, is this young lady, Tawana McDonald.
Gets 16 points, 8 rebounds, but I've never seen one player have such a factor in a game of forcing it, altering shots, blocking shots, doing it all.
Interesting move. McDonald sits down. Thomas comes in with 4 personal fouls.
I don't think Coach Landers has a choice. I think what he's concerned about is we watch a foul inside. He has to get McDonald a little bit of a break and play Thomas because he fouls out.
So Kyra Elsie, that'll be her second personal foul. First team foul here in the second half. Miller was looking inside for Thomas, swings it back out.
Yes,
Andy Landers going thumbs down.
Yes, running a special play now to get a situation for one of the Miller twins.
That is a very difficult shot that Kelly Miller made look easy.
Thumbs down means get it Miller to Miller. I could run that play. I think I'll put that in Houston.
But you got to have Miller and Miller. Elsie just lost the handle, and Georgia will have it, leading by 4. So we talked at the beginning of the second half to withstand that initial charge, and they did. Samika Randall, 3 for her first 3 shots. Pat Summitt's team took the lead. Now Georgia's starting to get back in the swing of things.
Yes, they fought the charge off by Tennessee. Now they've come down instead of running quite so much and taking so many quick shots. They're running set offense.
Miller for 3. Rolls around and out. Here comes Tennessee. Down by 4. Quinn Jackson. We've got a whistle, and that's going to be an offensive foul called against Jackson.
Right now, Jackson's doing a good job of going coast to coast, but she's got to give the ball to Pat Summitt saying, Quinn, give up the ball a little quicker then on the break. I think the carrot down there that far, but when you get across the center line, start hunting those guards. That's why they're on scholarship.
Last 3 possessions for Tennessee. They're yet to rip the nets. That hurts.
You got to get a shot.
Yeah.
Turn the ball over. You got to get a look.
Thomas inside. Nice pass to the young freshman.
That's why Thomas has got to come down, play defense without fouling. Give up the basket because you can score. If Robinson gives you the ball, don't foul.
And the lead is stretched to 6. 13-15 to play in the ball game. Number 4 against number 2. Inside, the basket goes, and we have a foul.
Without being self-serving, the coaches in this league, but I'm going to show you what makes this a special league. What a coaching job right there. What does Tennessee do? They struggle. They go immediately inside to take advantage of Thomas, foul her out of the basketball game, remove her in. Now Georgia has no depth at the post position whatsoever. Thomas has been a factor. Get it inside, run a set play, make Thomas play. This is a great chess match between Andy Landers and Pat Summitt. No wonder they've won 1,200 games between them. No wonder I left the SEC.
As she leaves with 6 points and a couple of rebounds, and now Tawana McDonald, she may be looking at 13 minutes and 14 seconds straight without a breather.
Here's my thinking with McDonald. Play till she falls over, rest tomorrow, and take off tomorrow. Tonight counts. Briggins comes in, you got to block out. When somebody else gets on the free throw line, you got to put a body on somebody. Watch Tennessee try to run a little cross inside between Jackson and Robertson.
And again knocked out. Tennessee will have it. Tennessee now with 15 offensive rebounds already in the game, and now with Thomas out, looking to exploit that even more. 4-point Georgia lead. Jackson. Coco Miller gives her the baseline. Still loose. Randall inside. It won't go. And Brown comes out. Andy Landers saying, let's go.
Georgia's never seen a fast break they didn't like, buddy.
Tawana McDonald is hammered from behind. I think Ashley Robinson got every piece of her shoulder.
Yeah, but when this happens, when McDonald gets the ball on the free throw line away from the basket, she's a force inside. She's not quite as good. If you're Robertson and you're a freshman, you got to learn to back up. Thomas got to learn not to foul. Robertson's got to learn who you guarding and who can make a shot. Don't pressure the ball. Make her beat you from outside. Don't let her get to the hole.
Kyra Elsie whistled for her third personal foul, and Tawana McDonald will go to the line. 6 for 8 from the stripe.
Tennessee now is coming for McDivitt to get a little more scoring into the lineup. Georgia, you cannot afford to back off 8. If she gets a 3-point shot, she's going to drill it. She's such an offensive force.
McDonald went through a nice routine there trying to set up again.
Same thing every time. Now Tennessee comes down. Coach Summit wants the 5 play. Set up, run it, get a good look, try to go into 1-4, go high.
Now they bring Robinson way out front with Jackson. McDivitt on the way. Randall takes a seat on the floor. Brown almost with the steal. That's going to be a grab, and it's going against Georgia.
Tennessee's trying to run a little back cut, take Randall and screen inside for Robertson cutting to the hole. When Tennessee gets in trouble, a lot of times they will go inside trying to force you to foul, and I look for them to do that.
McDivitt looks for something inside. Lawson hits the 3.
What a shot off of a double screen running baseline on the outside and drills the 3.
That's her first points of the ball game, and the lead is down to 3. Miller wide open baseline, halfway down, popped out.
Coach Landers thought there was a foul by running over the screener, and he might have been right.
Now McDonald put her hand up. Tamika Randall knew it was there, called it her shot was short. 56-54, 2-point advantage, 11:49 in the ball game. Miller's shot rejected by Jackson. Tamika Randall.
I think Coach Landers is close to taking a timeout to rest McDonald. He has nobody to put in. He's going to have to take a timeout and use it wisely and see where she can play and last for the complete game.
That's going to be a traveling call. The shuffling of the feet by Robinson, and this should be a TV timeout. A much-needed timeout. Lawson drains the 3 that has pulled the Lady Vols within a deuce, 56-54.
Get inside the game at SECsports.com, powered by Total Sports. You'll find in-depth analysis throughout the season, live total cast, game coverage, video and audio clips, fan polls, and you can enter to win weekly trivia prizes. At SECstore.com, pick from over 1,500 items in 20 product categories. It's the ultimate SEC online experience, powered by Total Sports, official online provider and corporate partner of the SEC.
Because a 51-year-old hiker and nature photographer couldn't picture herself as a heart patient. Because the beauty of East Tennessee still beckons. Because healthcare choice matters. Linda Sedlacek chose Baptist, the one word in healthcare.
Searching for a really nice pre-owned vehicle? Look no further than Tilly Lane in Lenore City. The cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs of all makes and models at Tilly Lane are clean and reliable. Most are traded in by the good folks in this area. You can trust any selection you make because you can trust Ron Tilly and his fine staff. Tilly Lane Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and pre-owned vehicles, locally owned and operate. People you'll like. Isn't it nice to hear good news for a change?
Colt spare. Can you imagine that? Now Smokey, the blue tick coon, and I'm told it's hail. You can say it better than I can.
All right, it's a hound dog, Sonny, but I'll tell you one thing. Give him or her credit. What a job.
Well, Smokey won't be with us Sunday, but we'll be in Columbia, South Carolina. Van and I will be watching number 10, Florida, take on South Carolina, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Then next Tuesday night, we'll see the Lady Vols again as they take on number 15, Vandy, and that will be a dandy.
Yes, right now we got those two games coming up, but Tennessee goes to a 1-2-2 zone. Here comes the Miller twins.
For 3, nothing but the bottom of the net.
And when you play a zone against Georgia, you got to know where the two Millers are. They can just shoot the eyes out of it.
Lawson off the back of the iron. Coco Miller now with a couple of threes. She has 16 in the ball game. This is Kelly Miller with a basketball. She has 12.
Great timeout TV-wise for McDonald. She got a chance to rest. She's got to win that. She's got to go to the next TV timeout.
Didn't get it. Isn't this, if you're Georgia and Andy Landers, a battle of attrition right now? Can you hold on for 10 minutes and 40 seconds?
You got to hold on. You got to use your timeouts well. You got to use your TV timeout.
Jackson shows us some range as she hits her second 3 of the ball game.
Tennessee now is going to change a little. Go from a 1-2-2 to a little 1-3.
Miller, a dangerous pass. Georgia will have it with 22 on the shot clock, and Kelly and Coco going over strategy together.
I don't care what zone Tennessee plays. They've got to know where Coco and Kelly are. They're too good as shooters. You got to be mindful of them. In a zone, there are certain players you don't guard, and there are certain players you guard every time.
Now they're working the left side of the court. 9 to shoot. 7 on the shot clock. Georgia will have it. Good defense by the Lady Vols.
But I think the zone right now is doing what Pat Summitt wants it to do, giving Georgia a different look now with 6 seconds to go.
Kelly Miller lost the handle. With 2 seconds, it'll be Georgia's ball.
Right now it's one of those crucial points. If you're Tennessee, you cannot let Georgia score this out of bounds with 2 seconds to go.
The crowd is loud. Bodies flying everywhere. Lawson on the breakaway. Has Brown to beat. Brown with a hat.
Not only did Tennessee stop the break, they stole the basketball and went shot on the other end. I don't know that it's anything that I think it hurts your morale, hurts your team any worse than have the ball out of bounds under your basket and give up a lay-in on the other end. You just have got to be able to get it in, or you'd have been better off, as we see Lawson steal the ball. Georgia would have been better off with a shot clock violation.
What a great burst of speed by Carol Lawson, the sophomore out of Virginia.
She's quicker than she looks.
I think you're absolutely right.
And she's got the heart of a champ. She's the one that's kind of igniting this team with that three-point shot on the baseline. I think Randall will step up here with 9:59 go and make some plays for Tennessee.
Kara, a member of the SEC Good Works team. Pat Summitt can only walk right now. Lawson with 5, and we are tied at 59 inside of 10. There's the inside-out game again. Kelly Miller's jumper won't go. Jackson had it, lost it. Ball is loose. Jump ball, possession arrow, Tennessee.
And right now, you're in a Southeastern Conference game where every possession counts. Every jump ball, every ball that goes one way or the other, there's going to be a 2-point swing because now you're down to 9:40 with a tied-up basketball game. Every possession, every shot.
Boy, Samika Randall came right down on her backside very hard on that play.
Yes, but here's what I think Randall has to do now for Tennessee. Make the hustle play. Inspire her teammates. She doesn't have to necessarily make the shot. She's got to get the loose balls, the tough rebounds, as we see Snow come back into the game at this time.
Well, Snow will come in. Robinson goes out.
And I think the best defender on Michelle Stowe tonight's been herself. In foul trouble, removed from the game. You're playing too good, Michelle. Stay in the game. Stay out of foul trouble.
Well, she's got 2 right now. Nice job defensively. Brown knocks it out. Andy Landers having to play without the freshman, Christy Thomas, who was fouled out. Fouled out 4 minutes ago. Huge blow to the front line of the Lady Dogs. Jackson, the spin move. Rebound, Briggins.
Briggins has been a factor on the defensive board. She's done a very good job of knowing her role offensively.
Working around. Kelly Miller back out top to Briggins. Coco Miller, 10 to shoot. Kelly Miller. McDonald inside, throws up the right-handed jumper and has got it.
But see, that sequence then offensively allowed the Georgia team to rest a little bit, get their composure, tied up, the crowd's going wild. Anytime you're struggling, especially on the road, have offensive patience. Give your team some confidence.
Randall was cutting through the paint. Brown stayed right on her. McDivitt gives it up, lost it right into the hands of Coco Miller. Samika Randall behind her, little up and scoop shot. Miller can't get it.
Great play, didn't finish it. You can't fault the kid for that, giving it all you have.
They do play at 1 speed, that's full.
Watch Tennessee try to run a little backdoor cut for the post player to get lost and open inside or for an outside shot.
Tasha Butt set to check in for Tennessee. Shot clock at 8. Randall has to double clutch. Somebody had their hand on the ball. Rebound controlled by Coco Miller.
Georgia's done a great job of defensive rebounding at their wing spots. Millers, both Millers and Brown. Anytime there's been a long rebound, they're in helping out.
On top, Briggins again. The shot clock worked down to 10. Miller again misses the easy shot.
You just won't see one of the Millers miss a shot like that. Not normally, especially either one of them, Coco or Kelly.
Pivot for 3. Rebound controlled by Miller. I think she also felt Michelle Snow on her backside. Had to kind of just contort the body just enough to miss the shot. McDonald looks inside. Brown back out to Kelly Miller. Baseline jumper over the outstretched hands of Jackson, who gets the rebound.
Right now, Georgia's gone a little cold. Maybe Kelly and Coco are rushing it just a hair, not much. Got to relax. Maybe fatigue is a factor. I don't think it is. But they're going to have to knock down some shots in the last 7 minutes.
Now, they both have played the entire game so far, 33 minutes. Lawson inside. Jackson, offensive rebound. The turn, the basket, the foul. Jackson was 17 in the ball game. 8 here in the second half.
Wynn Jackson is doing an outstanding job of just fighting both ends. Anytime the ball is shot, she's going to the offensive board, sticking it back in. And Georgia's having to help on the weak side sometimes, and this is leaving Georgia open. But now on this free throw, Georgia's got to step across and put a body on somebody in case Jackson misses it, not giving up another offensive rebound.
Now she completes the three-point play. She already has the double-double. 6:54 to play. Tennessee has taken the lead by
1. Coming up next, the Dr. Pepper halftime show.
Of all the online shopping websites, one stands out as the destination for SEC fans. SECstore.com. Inside, you can visit over 20 different product departments, offering over 100 items per school. And there's no better place to get official, cool SEC logo merchandise. And when the clock winds down at championship time, official victory caps and tees go on sale instantly. It's the ultimate shopping experience for all SEC fans. SECstore.com.
It's an SEC showdown on Fox Sports Net. Alabama's on the prove they're a force to be reckoned Arkansas, Saturday at 5 on Fox Sports Net.
Hey, Keith, can you do something about this you the man bullshit?
As God is my witness, we will find a cure for this in our lifetime.
The Keith Olbermann Evening News, Sundays at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
There is very little doubt that this has a great deal of importance, this basketball game, nationally and also in the SEC, because both teams came in undefeated in conference play along with Vandy. A quick update on that. Florida has defeated Auburn the final 72-59, so Florida now goes to 3-1. Auburn falling to 1-4. And we have a second. Congratulations to Notre Dame Muffet McGraw for the upset of UConn the other night.
Isn't that a great game? And I know Gino at Connecticut and all his players won't think it, but that's a great win for not only Notre Dame, but women's basketball will have a new #1, greater interest. What a game.
Of course, Notre Dame beat Georgia earlier on in the year.
Ruth Riley at Notre Dame may be the most improved player in the whole country. Is she a player right now? What a factor against Connecticut.
Bench scoring 11-6. All of Georgia's bench points came from Christy Thomas, who is fouled out. Tennessee starting to take control in the rebounding department. They are now +10. May have something to do with Georgia maybe becoming a little fatigued. Brown forces the jumper. Rebound knocked around, controlled by Tasha Buck, the freshman. Randall. Lawson for three.
What an inspirational basketball player. Right now, Tennessee is in a zone run, and anytime Georgia puts Briggins out front, they just leave her alone. They don't try to zone her. They don't match her up. They just leave her alone and take 5 and guard 4.
From the outside, Coco Miller's jumper won't go. Rebound Tennessee. They're 2 of 8 now from 3. Bucks inside. Rebound Snow. The basket and the foul.
Right now, Tennessee is just running the ball down Georgia's throat. They're using a greater depth right now. I think to just get up and down the floor. Georgia's playing with such heart. Do they have enough left here at the end? I think they will, but they're going to have to get some offense. Right now, this zone is causing them a little problem. And Andy's got a problem. He can't afford to show it because he does not have someone with any size that can go in. But what Tennessee's doing is taking 5 to guard 4.
Well, McDonald picked up her 3rd personal foul. Now the lead is at 7. The 3 won't go for Georgia. Snow lost it. Georgia will have the basketball again.
You know, Georgia's getting some good looks.
Oh, yeah.
They're running a little dribble out series against this zone, passing the ball to Kelly Miller. She's dribbling out and hitting Coco on the weak side, but they got to be able to make them.
And Georgia wants to call a timeout. This is a mini run by Tennessee that's been impressive. And you can see the 14-5 run the last 6 minutes. You know, talking to Tamika Catchings before the ball game, and you were talking to Pat Summit, they had one of their best practices ever yesterday, and they've not only dedicated games, but also practices to Catchings.
Yes, they're now going to have a hustle award because Catchings, Pat told me, she said, man, the points, the rebounds, the field goal percentage, we'll miss that, but we'll miss her desire, how hard she played as you look at that. But here's my point. Here's what Tennessee's faced here. Anytime you get a player hurt, Ron, you come back and you play your next game. You're going to have this fire, especially if it's Georgia. They beat you 27 last year. What is Tennessee going to do the rest of the year? I think they'll play with this. People have got to step up. If they're going to compete for a national championship, they got to get it done after tonight.
Now they missed not only the numbers, but also the spirit on the basketball courts of Catchings. He's like Kelly and Coco Miller. Tamika Catchings plays one speed, and let's pull. Coco Miller's shot. It's going to be an offensive foul. It's a blocking foul.
Tennessee then came out of the timeout. Showed they've been playing zone for the last 7 possessions. Came out in a man, and then Georgia tried to run the Reggie Miller double screens on the weak side for Miller coming out and had an offensive foul.
Now the offensive foul was on Briggins. That is her 4th personal foul. So now Briggins with 4, McDonald with 3. Thomas is fouled out already for Georgia. Mandy Landers is facing a huge predicament here in the final 5:20, trailing by 7.
Just because Tennessee's still very tall, very athletic.
Randall will commit the infraction. That'll be her third personal. Pat Summitt's team has done a nice job of staying out of foul trouble. Snow got too early. Randall also picked up 2 personal fouls, Roy Robinson, but they've not picked up 3.
Yes, because they could bring players in. They could bring players in. Here's Sketchins looking at her knee. She says today they told her they might want to wait 3 weeks. She wants to be operated on now where she can play quickly.
Georgia needs some type of basket. Kelly Miller, they have been ice cold, but we do have a whistle and a foul.
And let me say this much. Right now we've had a big game, but we have the 3 of the best officials, and they've called it consistent on both ends. What's been a foul on one end, it's been a foul on the other end. That's all you can ask for. You just had Randall on that end, now you got Miller on this end. Step up and make the free throw.
Kelly Miller, she has now hit 27 straight free throws and 32 out of the last 33.
Anytime you shoot almost 86%, you're doing something.
She adds to her total and stops the bleeding with 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Only down by 5.
All Georgia needs is a defensive stop and just a shot, just a play.
Butts on a little backdoor cut to pull up over Brown. McDonald the rebound.
I didn't think Butts had that shot. No. It looked like she had it. You got to pull back up.
McDonald from 15, and I'm not sure Andy Landers wants her taking a 15-footer. Now Briggins is out.
Briggins taking a bad foul there. She cannot afford to take that foul. I know I've harped on that all night, but in this situation, you don't have a lot of depth at the post position, you have got to play smart basketball. You got to stay in. Now Georgia becomes very, very small, as we see on the rebound next. Snow had the basketball. She wasn't going to get it. Go back on the other end. You missed the shot. Now you've got 4:30 left. Washington comes in, and now Georgia is very, very small.
You make the point a lot of times. You've made the point if you're going to foul somebody, don't do it right in front of the official either. On a hack like that.
Don't do that, but I know the emotions of the game, and I feel for a young lady. But also I'm saying in this type of situation, on the road like this, you got to be able to control it. Get back on the other end. When somebody gets the ball, get back out of the way. What can you do? What are the odds of you getting the basketball?
Well, Tamika Washington has had to come in. She's 5'11". Briggins was 6'1", so they lose a couple of inches. Snow has had a solid game. It started from the get-go, and she scored 6 points early on. She now has 14 for Pat Summitt's troops.
Washington has to watch Randall stepping across really quick. If Snow misses it, getting the offensive rebound and sticking it back in.
And the lead again at 7, closing it on 4.5 to play. Georgia led at halftime, 43-40. They opened up a 6-point lead here in the second half, but Tennessee has fought back to take the advantage. Georgia, 2 players have fouled out. McDonald rejected by Snow, no foul called. Andy Landers can't believe it.
Andy Landers thought that she got fouled with the body.
Lawson all the way to the hole. Over McDonald, counted.
Lawson has been the player that's ignited this Tennessee team in the last 10 minutes of the game with outstanding play, enthusiasm, getting the crowd back into the game.
Scoreless in the first half, 10 in the second half for Lawson. The pick by McDivitt. Tips it to Lawson. 2-on-2. Pull-up.
Coach Landers has to take a timeout before this game gets away from him. If Lawson ever played in the last 6 or 7 or 8 minutes of this game.
To the strains of Rocky Top, Tennessee has opened up their biggest lead of the game and the biggest lead for either team. It is 11 with 3:42. Now, if you're Andy Landers, your team has gone cold. Now you have gone small. Is in a hopeless case right now.
No, I think what you do now is you got to realize there's a lot of time. You got two of the best three-point shooters in the country. Come down, get a good look, screen off, maybe go inside to McDonald and keep back out for Kelly Miller. What you cannot do right now is panic. 11 points is not insurmountable with almost 4 minutes to go.
because you had a point in that first half where you did stop Tennessee.
Yes. Well, you're going to have to make some defensive stops. That's natural.
McDivitt hounding Kelly Miller. Washington got away with a bad pass, but that's because McDonald was being shoved from behind.
This Robertson committed another foul that you got to be careful on. McDonald did not have a look at the basket.
Robinson picks up her third personal foul. We have had the execution. We've had the emotion. Number 4 versus number 2. And right now, the second-ranked Lady Vols have the lead by 11.
Do you need cash but are worried about getting the right deal? If you need cash to pay off bills for home improvements or just to spend as you like and you want the loan set up on your terms, call this toll-free number now. You'll know in 10 minutes or less if you qualify for up to $75,000 or more. And if you do, you could have a check in as little as 2 weeks. An Advanta loan specialist will work with you to design a loan that fits your individual needs. Fixed or adjustable rates, terms to fit your budget and your financial goals, even if you've had credit problems in the past. Advanta has been helping homeowners get the cash they need for nearly 50 years. And Advanta was recently named one of America's most admired companies by Fortune magazine. So if you need cash fast, call Advanta or see us online. There's no quicker, easier way to get the money you need. Don't miss out. Call now. If you need cash, call Advanta now at 1-800-550-7124. In 10 minutes or less, you could be pre-approved for up to $75,000 or more. Call now, 1-800-550-7124.
Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья! Итак, мы с вами в Хабаровске на чемпионате по пощечинам. Сейчас видно, что чемпионат пройдет великолепно. Уж так сильны оба претендента. Итак, смотрим. Уже сейчас видно, что чемпионат пройдет великолепно. Как и обещали нам его организаторы. Единственный претендент на чемпионский титул Розановский без...
In the last 8 minutes, Pat Summitt in Tennessee has outscored Georgia 20-7. That is why they lead by 11. And you can see the shooting percentage. Georgia in the second half just 31%, well below their norm, which is 47%. And we have a whistle and a foul.
I think it's all about this right here. It's well documented how much Catchings has meant to Tennessee, the loss of Catchings. But I'm going to say this much. I don't think there's any doubt. Nolan and Murphy has been a big-time loss to Andy Landry. Here's why. Murphy has been, I think, is the best sixth man in the Southeastern Conference. Nolan, now they have no depth. They will get Nolan back by the SEC. And when they do, they'll bring in Thomas off the bench, Nolan off the bench. That'll be plenty of depth. And I think that's been a factor in this game, especially here in the second half.
Toko and Kelly, 32 combined points, 4 of 4 between the two of them from the line. The pressure put on now. Lead down to 9. McDivitt breaks the pressure. Lawson for 3. Brown running the floor. Kelly Miller holds it up. Kelly Miller only 2 field goals in the second half. Coco Miller only 2 field goals in the second half. Brown, the running right-hander. Rebound, Glenn Jackson.
Georgia just cannot get a shot to drop. They've taken good shots. They've not been bad shots. They have just not dropped in the basket. Tennessee now is going to run a little clock, make Tennessee play. Make Georgia play. If I'm Georgia, I don't panic. I hold on. You still got enough time with a 3-point shot.
Lawson works off the pick by Jackson, gets a little space. And another whistle and another foul. Robinson with a move to the hole.
I do like the fact that Coach Summitt ran clock with a lead with about 2:45 to go with a 9-point lead. Reduce the game down. Don't run the clock down too much because I don't think women can run it down to 8 seconds and go one-on-one. And I know a lot of people out there will get on me about that statement. I like to run it down to about 15 and then run a play.
Right.
There are a lot of female players that can go one-on-one run. But I don't think that's the move to make. Run it down to about 15 seconds and then run one of your favorite plays.
Well, Tawana McDonald has picked up her 4th personal foul. And then Robinson picked up her 4th personal foul. 2:31 to play. 10 team fouls on Georgia, 8 on Tennessee. Robinson has picked up her 4th. And Keisha Brown will go down to the line to shoot.
Now, if you're going to run clock, and I think Coach Sully's told this to Ashley Robinson, if you're going to run clock, you cannot take a foul.
Right.
Because what are you trying to do is reduce the game down.
You're allowing them to score with the clock stop.
So you, on one end, you ran clock down. Then you ran a great play. Screened on the ball for Lawson. Got 2 free throws and then foul within 1 second going off the clock.
Nice blocking out by Jackson. Brown now with 5 in the ball game. And the lead is at 9, 75-66, inside of 2.5 to play.
Lawson will come down and run the clock, get down to about 18 to 15, run a play, go inside.
Robinson forces the shot, but she's got it. She has 8 in the game.
That's what I like to do to run clock. Run it down and then get a good shot.
Now the last 5 points for Georgia have come from the free throw line. McDonald has her shot altered by Jackson. Miller, a little reverse, and she'll go to the line with 1:55 to play.
Now, still, if you're Tennessee, you got an 11-point lead. You got 1:55 to go. You want Georgia off the free throw line. Now, if you do, you're going to let them press. Georgia's now got to come with a press. They're down. If you don't take the foul and score the basket, it's so much easier to set up a press after a free throw.
Kelly Miller now 29 straight, Coach.
Oh, yeah. It's just like death in Texas when you put her on the line.
That's it.
You just...
She continues her hot streak from the free throw line, but it has been cold from the field the last 10 minutes.
Now Georgia comes out in a little 1-2-2 half-court trap. He couldn't extend it because I don't think he physically thought they could.
Jackson from 15 over McDonald. Rebound control by Washington. Here comes Coco Miller. Kelly Miller, tough pull-up jumper. Still can't get it to fall. And Lawson will hold things up as we go inside of 130.
Now Tennessee will run the spread. Spread the floor out, try to penetrate on Georgia. Now try to go one-on-one with the clock down to 1:18. Try to draw a foul at this time.
Well, Annie Landers told Kelly Miller to go ahead and foul. And that's what she did. That's her 3rd. And Lawson will go to the line. What a second half, though, for Carol Lawson.
What a basketball game. Tennessee's come back in the second half, but take your hat off to the Georgia ladies. They have fought so hard. This is a game that there should not anyone lose it. They fought so hard, both teams. The Millers have not been out. Tennessee's overcome. Give Tennessee credit for overcoming the loss of Catchings, but also Nolan and Murphy for Georgia. What a game.
All of her points have come in the second half, and they've been timely baskets, to say the least. The lead is back to 11. Georgia needs something quickly. 2 or 3s. That's a 3. Rebound, Tamika Randall, who's played big tonight. Randall will hold it up.
She's given Neil the emotional lift that Catchings had, the kind of the heart and soul a little bit. She's come in, and when Lawson has scored for him, Randall has given tremendous effort.
Now Tamika Catchings likes it.
If they're going to give a hustle award, and I'm not the Tennessee coaching staff, I know Lawson's going to have a consideration, but I also like Randall here for them.
17 points for Tamika Randall, the senior out of Cleveland, Ohio. The SEC Player of the Week had 28 versus South Carolina, but in the next game she came right back. Only had 6 versus Mississippi State, and that's part of the inconsistency that Pat Summitt would like to see go away. Biggest lead of the game, it's a 13 final minute. Keisha Brown. Georgia just cannot buy a jump shot. McDonald can't get it. And over the back, it'll be against Tamika Randall. Nope, it's going to be against Georgia. It'll be against Washington.
You know, you see games all the time, and you look up and you say, well, you hate to see this score go out, especially if it's not on television. It's 81-68. Right. I feel like this has been an 81-80 game.
I agree.
It's been that type of game. If you're the Georgia team, so much heart, so much character fighting back. And if you're the Tennessee coaching staff, you got to love how your team has come out after the loss of Catchings here Monday against Mississippi State.
Randall continues her success from the line.
I said that wrong. They lost a player. They did not lose the game.
Yep. Randall's got them both. Final 35 seconds. Tennessee will stay perfect in conference play in a rare loss in which Georgia led at halftime. In fact, they have never lost a game this year with the lead at intermission, but that is not the case tonight.
Also, I think you got to give the Tennessee fans here at home credit.
Absolutely.
I think that they've come in here and supported their team, and tremendous energy from the fans onto the players with the loss of Ketchum has helped this team fight and come back.
Now our friends at Notre Dame are probably wondering who is going to be the #1 team in the country come the next poll. Will it be the #2 team? Will they move up, or will Notre Dame move up?
Yes, in this situation, here's my thinking. Don't worry about who's #1 next Tuesday.
That's right.
Worry about who's #1 at the 1st of April.
Now when Andy Landers looks at the numbers and he looks at the play-by-play sheet as Tamika Randall goes out, Carol Lawson goes out, he can look at one thing. His team hasn't hit a field goal since the 8-minute mark.
And it's hard to beat the #2 team anywhere when you do that.
Jackson 6 of 7 from the line now. He has 20 in the ball game. Pat Summitt putting some of the subs in, getting a little playing time. Final 30 seconds.
I look for the rest of the season for Snow, Lawson, and Randall to take up the catching slack. That's where it looks like it's coming from to me at this point in time.
Coco Miller, the pull-up over Clement. They just cannot buy a basket. They may go the final 8 minutes without a field goal.
And that's going to be hard to believe. I just would not have believed that with the shooters, with the basketball players that Georgia has.
Well, they're the only team to win in the 90s as far as SEC teams go here at Tennessee. They did it in 91 and 96, but it will not to be tonight.
Let me say this. Andy Landers is one of the premier coaches. When I sit here and think about Pat and Andy, I think about the top 2 of the top 4 coaches in our game today. I mean, recruiting, coaching, doing it all. I know this is going to be a tough loss, but if I'm Coach Landers tonight, I'm going to be proud of how hard my kids played. My first thought would be, ladies, you played hard. Trainer, come in. Get Nolan healthy as quick as you can.
Yep. There's little doubt that Pat Summitt in Tennessee was completely ready. There's Tweety Nolan, Deanna Nolan, but Pat Summitt's team was ready for this game tonight.
And say, give Pat the loss of catching. Don't let our team moat. Bring them back.
It's going to do it. Final second, pull-up jumper, last shot won't go. 85-69 is going to be the final. Tennessee with the victory going to 17-1 on the year, a perfect 9-0 at home, 5-0 now in conference play, as they have a couple of major league performances, including one from Carol Lawson. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have more from Knoxville. The Lady Vols, the winners.
I refuse to lose, to be average, to fail. I refuse to die, to be afraid. I refuse to be taken. I refuse.
I'm Roy Kramer, Commissioner of the Southeastern Conference. The SEC has long been known for its athletic prowess, but let me tell you what I'm really proud of.
The commitment to academic excellence and community service our student athletes demonstrate. Last year, over 1,000 student athletes were named to the Conference Academic Honor Roll and Community Service Good Works team. That's what I'm really proud of. The Southeastern Conference. Today's student athletes, tomorrow's leaders.
Like a lot of people, we have some credit card debt. We always made our payments, but then the transmission went.
Another $1,200 on my credit card.
We didn't have a choice.
I had to get to work.
Our rent went up, and then Debbie needed braces.
We started getting calls from people looking for their money.
It wasn't just our credit rating that we were worried about.
It was our whole life. We got the help we needed from Cambridge Credit Counseling. They understood that we didn't want another loan.
We wanted to get out of debt.
Cambridge Credit Counseling is a non-profit service. They'll work with you and your creditors to reduce your monthly payments. It's a fresh start.
Now we don't have to cringe.
Hello?
Every time the phone rings.
We have one simple monthly payment that we can handle.
And since we're paying promptly, we get money back from Cambridge every 6 months.
We can breathe again.
We feel good about ourselves.
Give Cambridge Credit Counseling a call. Find out how good it feels to be debt-free.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to Knoxville, Tennessee. The Lady Vols put 4 players in double figures. Jackson and Randall each with 20 in the ball game, and they win it by 16, the final 85-69. One of the reasons for the win, a little energy in the second half, coming in the form of sophomore Kara Lawson, and she's with Van Chancellor right now. Van?
Thank you, Ron. Can you believe Kara Lawson, 14 points in the second half? What got into you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I wasn't shooting the ball too well in the first half, and so I tried to do some other things and get back on defense. But, you know, us shooters, you know, we have a saying, when you're off, when you're on, you're shooting. When you're off, you shoot until you're on. And so it took me a little while to get warmed up, but I did in the second half.
Did you feel like you had to come out tonight and score without catchings there? Did the whole team think they had to do more?
Yeah, I think we each believe that we have to do a little part, and it's going to be a collective effort. It's not going to be one person. And Tamika stepped up and played like an All-American tonight. Gwen Jackson's been consistent all season, and we really had great play off the bench. And so we know it's going to have to be a collective effort to make up for the loss of Tamika.
Does tonight's game prove that the Lady Vols are in the national championship hunt without catchings?
Oh, I'm not really sure we were ever out of it. You know, we're still a good team. We have talent still, and even with the loss of Tamika, we can still, you know, beat teams, and we knocked off the number 4 team tonight. It's a big win for us.
Well, congratulations. Great game. It's our privilege now to throw it back to the one and only Ron Thulin.
Thank you very much, Coach. As Tennessee wins it once again, the final 85-69. Jackson and Randall each with 20. Snow had 14. And, of course, Kara Lawson had 15, leading the way for Georgia. 19 points, 10 rebounds. McDonald, 18 points for Coco Miller. Kelly Miller chipped in 16, but it was not enough as Georgia falls for the 3rd time this year. They go to 15-3, 3-1 in conference play. The final 85-69. Just a reminder, SEC women's basketball will continue on your local regional sports network on Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock Eastern time, as the number 10 women of Florida take on South Carolina. South Carolina already with one big upset this year over Auburn. Van Chancellor and I will be there that Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Once again, the final score, Tennessee over Georgia, 85-69 for Van Chancellor and our entire crew in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm Ron Thulin. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.
We now join this regularly scheduled program in progress.
Juggernaut of the SEC. They have been dominating for Pat Summitt in their last 2 outings with Tamika Catchings on the bench. Tennessee looks to carry on that being tonight and win their 13th straight against in-state rival Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, Tennessee, next.